Good afternoon, and thank you very much for the invitation. Do you have my presentation? Yes. Okay, well, a short introduction by myself. I'm Luigi Amati. As it was said, I'm the chairman of the European Association of Business Angels, but I'm here today mostly as a chairman of Meta, a company that is developing systems and solutions for entrepreneurial ecosystems. And I'm going to present to you the challenge-based innovation platform, which we have been developing for entrepreneurial ecosystem, which has been implemented in over 50 cities across Europe as of today. With an approach that is based on the engagement of citizens, engagement of entrepreneurs, and especially engagement of not only, let's say, local resources, but especially attracting international resources, international capital, and international solutions. As you may well agree with me that cities may have similar problems, probably in different times during their life, and maybe the best solution is not lying inside the city, but could also come from outside. So, what is, let's say, what is a smart city? I think that the shortest definition that we could come up with is that of a technology-enabled city. So you have, as we have seen, plenty of technologies, plenty of solutions. Sometimes I would even say too many technologies and too many solutions, which are not necessarily helping us to live a better life. What we would really like to have is a good living city, which is first and foremost made by smart citizens, and it is made of an innovative and an entrepreneurial ecosystem that is able then to use and to attract smart technologies. Smart cities and smart technologies without good citizens will not probably be a good city to live in, and actually you could end up with the opposite effect, that you live in a city which is full with technology, but that has not a good quality of life. So we think that the main challenge is how do you make an ecosystem, entrepreneurial, innovative, how to engage, the citizens, the entrepreneurs, the investors around your city. And this is how many years ago we came up with the idea of the innovation platform, which is, as it said, an ecosystem boosters that is challenge-based, drive innovation and entrepreneurship and eventually good quality of life for cities. How does it work? Well, it's the concept is quite simple. You have a city with problems, and you also want to develop and attract more entrepreneurs to the cities. The problem, as they've been listed, they're more or less always the same. You have problems with traffic congestion, aging, migration. You can have problems with drainage, every kind of problem. The important thing, and I think the new thing about the innovation platform, is how and where do you find for a solution. The solution does not necessarily come from your own ecosystem, and does not necessarily come from local solution, but you now can use a much wider and much broader reach and network in order to find a good solution. And maybe this is also a good way to attract smart money and investors and entrepreneurs to your city. So simply, it works in such a way that the city will normally define together with the stakeholders what are the main challenges and what are the main problems to be solved. And then thanks to that, this challenge will be diffused over our platform, which is reaching currently over 3,000 entrepreneurs across Europe of different type of sectors. And you will be selecting the solution, and of course, for the entrepreneurs, it will be important that there is a clear evidence that if they will be able to participate in the challenges, then the solutions will be implemented. Why such a strong stress on entrepreneurs and high growth entrepreneurs and not necessarily only local entrepreneurs? Well, it may seem quite obvious, but if there are no high growth entrepreneurs, there is no party. This is a study that was conducted a few years ago by a foundation in the UK called Nesta, which is called the Vital 6%, which shows quite clearly on the left column the total number of companies, and on the right column the total number of jobs. And it shows like 6% of the most vital entrepreneurs and companies are generating over 60% of the new jobs. So if the city wants to be really smart, wants really to engage citizens, wants really to be innovative, it has to attract high growth entrepreneurs, and these are not necessarily only found within the city. I also have an example. I'm not sure whether this is going to play. Could it be possible to try to see if this works? Need to click on the image. Yeah. Examples you will have to, I'm sure the organization can share with you the PowerPoint, and you just need to click the link and you will see. But basically this is one of the challenges that was posed in the city of Angers with the waste city management, in which the solution was provided by a technology center in Europe that has then been able to implement the solution in Angers, not only in Angers but also into other cities. And it's just an example of how this can work. It is if you like, it is a little bit of a shift, it is a little bit of a change in the sense that normally, cities and regions are used to very good plans and very long-term strategies, and have a set of objectives, a set of measures, a set of points. But then, if you go 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line and you check what has been done with respect to the initial strategies, you see that executions a lot of time it's lacking. So the innovation platform is a tool to actually make the strategy actionable and to activate challenge by challenge what you define in the strategy, and to really gather the best possible solution around your strategy. As I said, we are currently supporting 55 cities, and we're checking. Actually, we don't have Sofia in the map, but maybe this will be a new opportunity. So far, we have been providing over 600 solutions to different urban problems, ranging from any kind of problem. We took as a global reference the United Nations Development Goals type of problem, but as I said, most cities have got very similar problems. What is also good about it is that it will for sure create an impact in terms of having an action and roadmap, having real solutions, having a portfolio of innovation, technologies, companies, entrepreneurs. The more challenges, of course, the more entrepreneurs, the more investors, the more solutions, the more innovative the city becomes. So it is a process, and the end result will be a constantly updated innovation ecosystem. Thank you very much for your attention. If you want to hear more about this, or you want further information, here you have my contacts. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Luigi. Градовете безспорно са един магнит за привличане на таланти, капитали и възможности. Очевидно е, че всеки град създава своята екосистема. Екосистемата е именно това, което би могло да тласне един град в развитие към по-добро. Затова всякакви подобни платформи и инструменти биха били добър пример за нас и ние бихме искали по някакъв начин да се включваме там, където е възможно. Ето, например, София, чрез няколко организации, член на Европейската инновационна платформа за смарт-сити, градове и общества. Миналата година, в края на годината, имаше генерална асамблея на тази платформа, партньорска платформа, в която беше разгледано и препоръчено един интегриран подход за обща инвестиционна програма на Европейския за превръщане в смарт градове. По същия начин ние търсим общо интегриран планиране за инвестиране. Аз зададох въпрос на Любо по какъв начин. Това е нашата визия да инвестираме в София с смарт градове, защото традиционното инвестиране, дори без визията, която сега се разработва, в момента, поне по моя информация, аз не виждам никакви наченки за Task Force. Task Force София участва поне в 10 проекта за конкуренция с интелигентни градове и така. Аз не виждам реално нещо повече не виждам и реално поощряване на модели, които да привличат и да създават подходяща екосистема. Разбира се, ние имаме много градове, финансови градове, бизнес-ангели, асоциацията и бизнес-ангели. Някак си това не е вплетено в общата визия на развитието, се иска по някакъв начин, че подкрепа, поне методическа, може да инвестираме, не асоциация на инвеститори. Така че, благодаря за твоята презентация. Аз смятам, че по този начин ние приключваме към края на този панел. Бих искал да завърша с факта, че интелигентният град не е само технологии, напротив, интелигентният град е преди всичко хора с тяхното образование, с техните таланти и по този начин искам да поканя следващия панел, на който ще обсъдим въпросите за образованието за интелигентни градове. Доктор Евгения Ковачева. Благодаря много на всички.